Hello, everyone. It is Monday, the 24th, 2025. Oh, of March. I don't think I said March, but of March. And, getting into it. So, Monday Night Raw. Other than that, just a typical Monday for us. But Monday Night Raw. John Cena opens up Monday Night Raw. He's still whining about, basically he's still whining in general to the fans. And he brought up about having the spinner, or bringing the spinner belt to WWE. I was like, first off, that's your thing with the fans, is you brought that spinner belt that nobody wanted. And then I thought about it too, like, wait a minute, he's the one who did it? Because I didn't watch wrestling at that time. So, like, you're the one? You're responsible for that thing? I was like, yeah, not exactly your greatest hits there, buddy. Of all things to bring up, I would not bring that thing up. But nevertheless, so they, of course, the fans there were chanting, Cena sucks. They were chanting it time and time again. He said something about winning the belt, taking the belt from the fans, the belt that Cody Rhodes has, and walking away with that belt, and the fans will never see it again. That's where Cody Rhodes comes out and says, more or less, not on my watch, is what he's kind of saying. First off, you have to take the belt from me in order to take it from the fans. And not on my watch. And he goes, I made a big mistake, and about his talk last week. And he said, but he goes, maybe this is, the great John Cena. This might be the worst John Cena yet. Time will tell. But he goes, but he tells John Cena that John Cena made a big mistake, and saying that he's going to walk away with that belt. And he said, no, you're not going to do that. So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of it. I mean, at one point, Cody Rhodes did challenge Cena in the ring. Says, here, take the belt, I dare you. John Cena looked like he was about to accept the challenge, and then he walked out. So, that was pretty much the size of it. Usos, Jimmy and Jay were in a tag team for the first time in a while. Excuse me. They went up against A-Town Down Under and got the W against them. After the match, Gunther got Jimmy Uso from behind, attacked Jey Uso. Jey Uso had a chance to spear Gunther, and he tripped on his own 2 feet and was not able to spear him. I mean, what can I say other than shit happens? But it was a big deal. I got the yawns tonight. It's a Monday night. I think that's why. But that story would continue later on. Jimmy talked to Jey Uso later on after the match was over, telling him that he can't, basically can't freeze up like that. He needs to be the old Jey Uso. Then Jimmy walks over and he challenges Gunther for the belt. So, interesting stuff there. Very interesting. Valkyria did defeat Raquel Rodriguez, even with Liv Morgan at ringside. She was able to get the win. She basically put Raquel in a cradle. In a cradle pin, and got her for the 1, 2, 3. while Raquel was distracted at one point. So, very good move on her part. She was able to walk away with the belt. Well, she stayed in the ring a little too long, and Liv and Raquel attacked her anyway. That's when Bayley came into the ring and defended defended Valkyria. So I think it's going to set up for a tag team match next week. Bayley and Valkyria versus Raquel and Liv. Sounds like that's what they're probably going. Yawns. I hate yawns. I'm so sorry, guys. But anyway, that seems like that's going to be the match next week. So, Jimmy Uso. Oh, I already said that. So, Rhea Ripley versus Io. Well, Io Sky. Let's just get down to it. So, basically, I forgot his name, but the GM comes out. He makes a spiel saying how Rhea Ripley signed the contract, but it does not count. She won't be in that match. It won't be a three-way for WrestleMania. He gets interrupted by Io Sky. Then he gets interrupted by Rhea. Then he gets interrupted by Bianca Belair. And then he gets interrupted by Rhea. Because Io Sky basically comes out and she goes like, hey, I don't care who I face. I can face both of them at WrestleMania. I don't care. Bianca comes out and starts complaining, no, I don't want to face Rhea. Rhea had her time. It's just you and me at WrestleMania. And that's where GM totally agrees with Bianca. Like, well, yeah, if you all give me a chance to explain things. And that's when Rhea comes out and says basically the same thing she's been saying, that she did not lose that belt straight up. It's bonkers, more or less. And she says, I don't care who I gotta face, but I want my title back. If you want to give me the rematch, fine. That's when, well, basically, long story short, she's going to get a rematch against Rhea Sky next week on Raw with Bianca as a special guest referee. That was announced later on after the ladies battled it out one more time in the ring. With this time with Bianca Belair standing high with a belt in hand, and she pointed to the sign that she's more or less going to face one of the two. Paul Pierce, that's who it is. So then she goes back and talks to Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce then says she's a special guest referee. So, we all know how this is going to end, though. It's going to be a three-way match before WrestleMania. I'm still on that lines. I think because Bianca Belair is going to be a special guest referee, something's going to go wrong, most likely. It can and it will go wrong, and that's how we're going to get a three-way match. It's either going to be that. I'm going to think on this, because it's either going to be that, or my other theory is Jade Cargill is going to find out that Bianca was behind that that incident too, that laid her out, injured her. And she may come to Raw next week while Bianca is a special guest referee and tries to lay out Bianca. So now Bianca may be out of that match because she's going to have other things to worry about. Time will tell what they're going to do with that. It could be either or there, but either way, I look for Bianca to be in a three-way match. It's either going to be a three-way match for the title, or it's going to be a three-way match against Jade Cargill and Naomi. Like I said, either way, which would be more like a handicap match, I guess, because then Bianca would be on the side of Naomi. But time will tell. But yeah, either way you look at it, it looks like it's going to be a good match. I'd go either way on that one. I'd take either match. Because, like I said, it could be a handicap, but it's most likely going to be a three-way match because she doesn't really like Naomi right now either. And who knows, might be Naomi's way of kind of throwing Bianca under the bus, saying, like, hey, she was in it too. I don't know. We'll have to wait until SmackDown to find out what's going to happen there yet. But that could lead up to some heat on Raw. So, depending on how SmackDown goes on Friday. I'm just saying, because they are not done by any stretch of the imagination with Naomi and Jade Cargill yet. So that could definitely, what happens there on SmackDown between those two could go on to Raw against Bianca yet. So time will tell. Then we have Andrade Americano making his debut. He beats Dragon Lee, but in the match, Dragon Lee loses his mask. Well, Americano takes his mask off. I don't think it was by accident. Kind of made it look like accident, but I don't think it was by accident. Then he gets Dragon Lee with the ankle lock that we all know Chad Gable is good for. So everybody's thinking it's probably Chad Gable. But anyway. Then for the last match of the night, we have Penta versus Braun Breaker. Judgment Day comes out. Kalisto and Dirty Dom. They're trying to cause havoc to help Penta out. Then it ends up being where Kalisto just comes into the ring against Braun Breaker. Then Dirty Dom follows suit. When Dirty Dom hits the ring, that's when, because Braun Breaker is able to defend off Braun Breaker is able to defend off Kalisto without much of a problem. Dirty Dom comes out. Ref sees him come out and charge, so that immediately disqualifies the match. So, as soon as that happens, you know that Braun Breaker is going to retain. But we have a brawl going out into the ring. That's when Finn Balor comes into the ring with a chair. And he takes out Braun Breaker with the chair. Hands the chair over to Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom then goes after Braun Breaker with a chair. Then the chair is turned over to Penta. Because Dirty Dom wants Penta to join the Judgment Day. So he's giving Penta the chair. Penta throws the chair at Dom. And then kicks him with it. So yeah, I think that pretty much answered the question whether or not he was going to join the Judgment Day. But then he was laid out right after that for his kick to Dirty Dom. So, yeah, quite a way of ending Monday Night Raw. So Penta still doesn't have an all-out right. I mean, I guess this is his first title bout. It's too bad that it wasn't a clean match. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So, sounds like, though, we're going to have Penta and Braun Breaker probably in a tag match against Judgment Day next week. I'm assuming that's what's going to lead up. This is going to lead up to that. So, that's what I'm guessing anyway. We're probably going to see Penta and Braun Breaker against Dirty Dom and Kalisto, most likely. And we're going to see, of course, Jimmy Uso will take on Gunther next week. Rhea Ripley against Io Sky with Bianca Belair as the guest referee. And probably Argando Americano will probably take on Rey Mysterio next week. So, since he did get the win against Dragon Lee, but it wasn't exactly a clean win. So, I'm assuming that's how that's going to go. So it should be an interesting Raw next week. So, yeah. That's all I got for WWE's Raw. It was not too bad of an episode. Not really my favorite one. Excuse me, not my favorite one they've done, but it wasn't bad. But yeah. Just not my favorite one. They've had better. Alright, here we go. Getting into now the... Excuse me. Getting into now to the questions of the day. Questions of the day. So let's get into it. And I'm not going to have as many pictures over here this time around, if you haven't noticed with the Raw thing. But yeah. I'm not going to do quite as many tonight as I normally do. But it's alright. You just got to deal with seeing my pretty mug and get through all my yawns and you'll be okay. Alright, so let's get into it. So, March 24th. What makes you feel homesick? Why isn't this stuff about, like, good luck and all that? Because this is... month of March is all about St. Patty's Day. We haven't had a single St. Patty's Day question in this... I'm complaining, because, like, dude, no offense, but we had, for the entire month of February, we had, like, romance questions or relationship questions, and now, instead of getting those kind of questions, sorry, I'm watching what's going on in front of me here. But anyway, so instead of getting those kind of questions, we're getting, you know, some weird ones. But nevertheless, I would have thought, like, dude, it's March. Why are we not getting, like, some really good, you know, questions about, you know, St. Patty's Day or luck or Irish or, well, you know, since green is the color of St. Patty's Day, what's your favorite color or something like that? Or what color would you do for a day or something? I mean, that would be really cool questions to ask instead of this stuff. This stuff is kind of like, ugh. But anyway, what makes me feel homesick? I guess, I don't know what makes me feel homesick. Because to be honest with you, I haven't been away from home that... it's not very often that I'm away from home. And when I am away from home, it's only for a couple of days and then I come back. So I don't know if I've really ever had enough time necessarily to be homesick. So I don't know how to answer that question. So I'm leaving it alone. I guess the main thing of what makes me feel homesick, I guess, is when I start missing my animals. Because I mean, I was out for about a week back in November, I think. We went to see Angela's family. I think that's the only thing that I was missing at the time, was wanting to see my animals. Other than that, I wasn't really gone. I mean, it was like 4 days I was gone for, so I wasn't really gone too long, so I wasn't really feeling homesick yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was glad to come back and see my animals, but other than that, I mean, I didn't really have enough time, I don't think, to really be homesick. So, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know. We're moving on to the other ones. These are kind of more fun anyway. I'm just kind of disappointed. Like, dude, March, dude. St. Patty's Day questions. Any kind of St. Patty's Day questions. And y'all just asking random stuff. Like, oh, what can we ask today? I don't know. Let's see. What makes you feel homesick? For the month of March? Like, wouldn't that be and another thing, too. Wouldn't that be a question that you would ask for vacation? Like, when people are on a vacation and ask, like, what makes you feel homesick? That would be the thing to ask. And who goes on vacation in March? Normally people go on vacation when it gets warmer out or when it's cold outside in the winter, and you just don't want to. You just want to get away from the snow for a week. Either way. What do I know? Do better, people. Do better on these books. That's all I gotta say. Alright, see where I'm at on this one. I think I'm almost there. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so answer all that one. What do you think about the vagabond lifestyle? I don't even know what that is, so I'm skipping that question. I'm sorry if I should know, but I don't know what a vagabond is, so. Or a vagabond? Is it something with vagina? I don't know. Or maybe it's vegetables? I don't know. But I have no idea. If I don't know it and I gotta look it up, I just gotta skip it because I don't got time for that. What 3 things would you leave in a time capsule for people to open in 50 years? 3 things I would leave. I would leave my pets. And then y'all can find them in 50 years from now. No, I'm kidding. I would not do that. That's funny, though. Let me see. 3 things I would leave. One thing I would leave, because that's 50 years from now. I think one thing I would leave would be I know y'all would laugh, but I would leave a book. I don't know which book I would leave yet, but I would leave a book in there. Just to see if in 50 years people still read from actual books, or we're actually like doing it all on computer now. You know, technology now. Maybe it's with the wrist or something, or we're all doing it fully on tablets now or something, but I would see if the book is still relevant in 50 years, so I'd leave any type of book. Same thing with a newspaper. I'd leave a newspaper in there just to see if 50 years from now a newspaper would still be relevant. So a book, a newspaper, and then I would leave a picture of Angela and I. Just in case we're not around in 50 years, so that way people will still maybe know who we are or something. Because it would have our names on the back and all of our information on the back of the picture. So to anybody that finds it, 50 years from now, in case we don't exist 50 years from now. We should still be here, but just in case we're not. So, because I would be like 90 or close to 90 in 50 years, so I might still be here, but just in case I'm not. Alright, so that answers that question. Let's see here. Would you raise your kids with the way your parents raised you? Absolutely. Because I turned out well. The only thing, I don't know if there's really much I would change. there might be one or two things I would change, but all in all, yeah, I would keep it the way I was raised. Does time heal all wounds, or is that just a saying? No, time does heal all wounds, but it depends on this. I've said this time and time again with these questions. It depends on the situation. Time heals all wounds, but it depends on the situation. For example, if you murder somebody, I don't see time healing that problem. At the end of the day, that person she murdered is still going to be dead, and the family is still going to be pissed off at you for killing that person. So no matter how much time goes by, and yes, they might forgive you. I'm not saying that. I mean, anything is forgivable, so I would say they could still forgive you for it. But forgiving and forgetting are two different things, and I don't, time isn't going to heal everything. You can't bring that person back from the dead. So, unless you're able to do that or go back in time and fix that mistake, I'm sorry, but time isn't going to fix it. So, yeah. But I'd say in most instances, yes, time heals all wounds. I mean, most people don't hold grudges. I don't hold any grudges. For the most part. I don't hold grudges, but I will say this. If I learn I forgive people. I do not hold grudges. However, if you show me what your true personality is and let me know that you are a person that cannot be trusted, then I'm not letting you back into my circle. I don't care. Time isn't going to heal that either, because you have already shown me that you cannot be trusted. Doesn't mean I haven't forgiven you. Yes, I forgave you. Yes, I have moved on. Yes, I'm no longer thinking about that problem anymore. We're good. We really are. But that doesn't mean I'm going to let you back in my circle and trust you again just because we're square. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I forgive you, but I learned that lesson not to trust you. You think I'm going to just unlearn that lesson? No. So, yeah, there's that. But that's all I'm going to answer for tonight on that. I think I went into it good enough. Now let's go to the question of the day. Question of the day. And then I can take care of these yawns that I had earlier. Alright, so getting into the month of March. We're almost at the end. Alright, so here we go. For the 24th, we go back to 2001. And there's two dates in here. So we're not going very far. 2001, Southwest Missouri State University women upset number 1 Duke University. I think I kind of remember that game, if I'm not mistaken. I think I do. It is one of the biggest victories in the history of Missouri sports as the Lady Bears defeated the Blue Devils to continue their run into the Final Four. One girl on that team, Jackie Stiles, established the Southwest Missouri State basketball, now known as the Missouri State University. As one of the best women's programs in the country. She set an all-time NCAA Division I scoring record while leading her team to a 29-6 record. The women's Final Four was played at the Kiel Center in St. Louis. Of course, it was in St. Louis. Why not? So it was a chance for Styles to be on the national stage in front of the home state fans. But in the national semifinal, Purdue defeated the Lady Bears 81-64, bringing the season and Styles' storied collegiate career to an end. So I'm gonna have to check and see though, see how she did in the WNBA if she went. Jackie Styles. But anyway, I mean, I know she's not a big household name, but still, she may have done pretty good. I don't know. I just recently started watching the WNBA. I ain't gonna lie on that. I'm finally starting to get interested. But mainly it's because now you can finally watch the games. It's for a while there you couldn't watch any of them. They were hard to find. Now, last year a lot of the games are suddenly being easier to find and navigate. Now, I believe this year they're supposed to be just as easy, if not easier. So I'm actually able to watch, and I you know, and of course, CC is a good reason to watch it right now. Caitlin Clark. So, but yeah. All right, now we go back because we got 2 dates on here. So now we're going back to 2005, and we're talking about the show called The Office on NBC. Mainly we're talking about Missourians and the starring roles. Jenna Fisher, a Nurex Hall and Truman State University graduate, played Pam Beasley, while Phyllis Smith, a graduate from Cleveland High, played Phyllis Vance. Ela Kemper of John Burroughs also played on the show's production team. So there were 3 Missourians that were in The Office. So there you go. I did not know that. I like Jenna Fisher. I did not know that she went to Truman State University until just now. So that's really cool. I know it now. Jenna Fisher's, she's really cool. So I would not mind meeting her one day, to be honest. So that's really cool. That's really cool. So that's what we got for the Missouri Day of History. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully I don't ramble too much. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all for now. I know I said I was going to do the tarot card deck tonight, but it's getting late, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll do a special video so I can do the tarot card deck. I usually don't do videos on Tuesdays, but I will make an exception. Plus, I'm going to be watching NXT tomorrow anyway, because Valkyr is going to defend her 2 titles tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that too. So I will put that in a video. I was going to do a special video with her since she's doing that anyway. Like I said, because usually I don't watch NXT, but for this reason, I will. I'll make an exception, and I will do a video tomorrow night. So I'll put that in there for tomorrow night, hopefully. So that's all I got for y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.